I guess they're probably coming from this mountain right over here. I mean, they're just massive and super unique frame, tall frame.
Grande. Yeah.
Big wolf.
I hadn't even got the deer in my rifle scope yet. I was trying to look at him through my binoculars. Wow, Brescia.
Look at that,
I think that we do pretty good, huh?
Yeah. I didn't want to be too premature because I was like, that can't be that wide. So we came straight down here from Dallas Safari Club in Dallas and linked up with everybody in Phoenix. The flight down was really super quick from Phoenix. You know, it's like about the time you get to altitude, you're starting to drop back in, so it was super fast and no issue there. The only issue was that somehow, some way, there were several guys that have never gotten their gear, and so we've been sharing gear, sharing guns, sharing jackets, sharing pants, sharing binos, you know, making the most out of what did show up.
Well, I got no bag, no bolt. This was just like heavy stick. This was just like hauling an anchor.
You also left that here.
Yeah.
So we can
No, don't leave it here. You can left it here. No.
He separated it.
It was a little bit of a rodeo getting down here with everybody, you know, kind of right after the shows, and 9 guys going 9 different directions. So it was a little bit of a rodeo, but we got it done and had a great week of hunting.
The water holes that we made for the cattle, it started to help a lot to bring a lot of mule deer for all over the ranches around us, and the population started to grow.
Hey, it's not Azerbaijan, baby.
No, it's not.
Not 9 hours.
This is awesome, man. Way cool.
They really go over the top here. The lodging is phenomenal. You wouldn't think it'd be like this out in, we're probably a good, 10 miles from the nearest road.
The beds are comfortable, the showers are hot, lots of pressure, the toilet's flush, and the hunting is unforgettable.
Here's a big turd. One of the belts too handy. Wow.
My name is Enrique Tapia. I'm the owner of La Esperanza Ranch.
Enrique and his family have had this property for, since the early 1900s, I think he told me.
This ranch, my great-grandfather and his brothers bought this ranch and other ranches around the area. It was a big ranch, close to 200,000 acres. They bought it in the 1930s.
All of the property you hunt down here in Mexico is owned by different people. So you might go to 10 miles that way and you're on somebody else's ranch. So there's really no public land hunting down here. It's all privately owned ground.
Just shoot this far left.
That's it.
Yeah, with this hammer.
Yeah, I don't think you need to mess with that gun.
Yeah, so we show up to Sonora, we get our stuff, we get out to the ranch, and there was actually enough time to hunt that evening, and it was kind of like they were looking for a volunteer, and so off we go.
One thing people don't really realize about Sonora is Sonora doesn't hold a ton of deer, like population-wise.
It's so thick here. I mean, it's like super, super dense.
What makes Sonora special is though there might not be a ton of deer, there's no better place or no better opportunity to shoot a large mule deer buck than Sonora.
You're also hunting on this truck they call a high rack, which I've never done before, but it allows you the visibility to actually see into the trees and see into the cactuses and so on.
There's a lot of coos when you get it down into the river, big creek, you know. Lots of thick brush.
You know, I'm starting to question whether this is even a deer there, and then you see just a little bit of movement. The windows to shoot are so narrow and so small. I mean, it's like you literally have a few feet.
He's down. That's great.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's so thick up
It's
there
thick.
that to get a clear shot,
You made a really good shot of me with
Yeah.
those branches.
Yeah.
Great shot.
just to find a sliver.
Great.
Well, I could tell he had a good frame, and there he had some like a long tooth,
Yeah.
but that's all I could see
I
until
just
he
know he's got a
until
good
he
frame.
turned,
You
and I
got a
was
really
like,
nice
yeah,
name.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sonora,
Good job,
Mexico.
Rusker. Very nicely done, man.
Sonora, Mexico.
I mean, I hadn't even been in Mexico more than like, I guess maybe 6 hours, and you know, I'm tagged out. So that was a tough shot through that brush. I quickly go from hunting to spotting and being a spotter, but it was awesome. It was a great buck, an awesome representation of you know, a Sonora buck, and it was definitely a different way of hunting that was kind of interesting as well.
It's a good shot though. You had to thread it through some pretty.
Did anybody arrange it?
I did.
How far was it?
It was 200. That's why I dialed the
Great.
route up to 200.
Good.
What a nice buck though.
Yeah,
Old
that's
deer. I love he's been fighting too.
We're in Sonora with Esperanza, and just took this awesome Desert Mule Deer. Heavy horns. I mean, they're just massive, and super unique frame, tall frame. I couldn't be happier. I want to thank Mike Deonda and Julie Deonda from Prime Revolution. Mike for inviting me to come down on this hunt and experience this beautiful place with him. And thank you also to all of the crew from Esperanza. Great job.
You know, one of my favorite apps on my phone is the Ballistic AE app, and it's really simple. You know, this scope, the Vortex scope here, is a minute of angle scope, and I know my grain of bullet, I know my ballistic coefficient, I know my muzzle velocity, I know my altitude, you know, my atmospheric pressure, and my density. I can put that all in my phone, and it calculates everything for me. So after my 100-yard zero, where I know I'm good, everything out to however far I want to shoot, whether it's 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000. You know, the app puts it all in there, calculates it for you. You don't have to do any math. You know, and the Vortex scope makes it easy. Everything is in quarter MOA, so it's just a click and go, whether it's, you know, you got to adjust for wind or adjust for elevation. You know, and also it has your minute of angle hash marks inside the scope when you're looking through it, so it makes it real easy if you got to adjust for wind on a quick shot. Yeah, the combination of the Vortex Razor HD and the Ballistic AE app makes it pretty simple.
Well, my first impression was that I was a big group, lots of people, but everybody seems to be very nice people. It was very nice people to me.
Actually, day 1.5 of Mexico. Got here yesterday.
The ranch itself is phenomenal. 22,000 acres, I think, or something like that. I mean, it's just giant, and you know, it'd probably take you a week doing nothing but traveling to see the whole thing, but it's an absolute beautiful, stunning place with great people.
Did a little gun check at the range, make sure our zeros were good, and then my buddy Butch shot a giant last night, and we're trying to do one of the same today. So don't know how the other guys are doing, but we're having a good day so far.
Saw 3 good rams moving. I guess they're probably coming from this mountain right over here, trying to get to the one over here behind us. So.
You know, we were out in actually headed to a higher vantage point in the high racks, and we were hunting our way there, and we were going to get out and glass. You know, we rolled around this corner. We were headed to our little mountain that we were going to hike up and glass from, and 2 of the other guides were actually there glassing, and they were, you know, freaking out, giving us hand signals that they had seen a big buck. So
Big water.
We saw a bunch of those, so we stopped to take a look at them.
With the truck, and there was no other way for us to get to a vantage point. We had to try to maneuver the high rack to a position where we could see.
And suddenly we found a huge buck behind a green palo verde.
It was not like the easiest to present himself, and again, it's, you know, pretty thick brush and so on and so forth. But once it did present itself. It was just like, you know, one of those moments where your heart starts to beat out of your chest. I mean, it's like, dude, this is a deer of a lifetime.
Are you on him? He's just in that bush right here. Yeah, I'm in it. I'm on him. Shoot it. Yes.
Kiko, our guide, was freaking out and like, Mike, shoot, 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 shoot. I'm like,
that it was amazing. You can see the big head or the basket that they make from one side to another.
Watch the small book. You see the book right here? Branch, go that way. He's right there eating in that branch.
I hadn't even got the deer in my rifle scope yet. I was trying to look at him through my binoculars, and
Kiko, our guide, spotted right away, and without a doubt, he started telling Mike, get ready to shoot this buck because he's a huge buck.
Are you on him? He's just in that bush right here. Yeah, I'm in it. I'm on him. Shoot it. Yes.
Sí, shoot. Shoot. Shoot.
knew he was big. I just didn't know how big until I put my hands on him.
Wow.
I couldn't be happier. This is the biggest mule deer I've ever killed in my life. Wow, Precious.
Look at that.
I think we do give it good, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Holy smokes, look at the mass on this.
I have a little problem with mule deer. It's kind of like, you know, somebody that has a problem buying guns or sunglasses or whatever your deal is. Mine is mule deer.
To be there with him through that harvest, and actually for him to break a barrier, which is a 200-inch deer. He's hunted his whole life, and you know, everybody wants to claim they've killed a 200-inch deer, but to be there for that moment, to actually get it done and be a part of it was just as much, if not even cooler than me harvesting the deer that I got to shoot.
Down here in Sonora, Mexico, this is day 1.5, I guess. We got here last night, checked our zeros. My buddy Butch shot a giant last night. We just shot a giant today. I couldn't be more happy. This is the biggest mule deer I've ever shot in my life. Trying to kill a deer like this forever and ever. And it finally happened. The proof rifle did its job again.
That takes the cake.
And here we are. Couldn't be more excited and lost for words. Well, thank you for having us down here. We appreciate it. This is a giant mule deer.
Yes, awesome.
Muy grande, right?
Yeah.
Muy grande.
Muy grande.
Hey, what do you think? And I didn't want to be too premature because I was like, that can't be that wide.
That little
I was like,
when he was sideways from us, then when he squared up to rub on it, yeah, I said, yeah, right. And I saw these two.
Grande. Yeah. I don't know, we were over there somewhere, coming over the top of this little ridge, and let's see, the two guys in a four-wheeler were like, guy, go that way, go that way.
Nice. Nice, right here, close then.
I don't know, somewhere over there.
Let's find the widest.
So where were these? Where would be right over this point? Inside Main Road. What's the widest outside?
It's hard to tell from this angle, really. He's 30 inches all day long.
Yeah.
Center to center is 28.
That's free money right there. That's like shooting an elk that goes like this, right? 28 inside? Yeah.
All of my friends that were down here on this trip, I'd like to thank them for being here and us having an amazing week. Old Mexico's the place to go. You just want to hang out with your buddies and hunt giant mule deer, this is it.
They're trying to confirm if they have weapons or not.
Eagle 6, Saber 3.
Roger, we're observing area, negative contact.
Saber 3, Eagle 6.
Where, if you find out where they are, then they just come up there to the north or south end, because I'm looking for them. All right, these guys definitely got weapons.
The wreckage of this life can build you or tear you down. What motivates you when there's no one else around?